Good afternoon, everyone. For those that don't know, my name is Sheriff Brooks Bigworth, St. Lawrence County Sheriff's Office. I'm here today, it's a press conference to announce Operation Drop. Let me just talk about the operation and then we'll get into some logistics in a second. This morning at 5 a.m., 8 search warrants were executed simultaneously at 8 different locations. 7 locations were in St. Lawrence County and 1 location was in Jefferson County. The multi-agency investigation was codenamed Operation Drop and brought together the resources of St. Lawrence County Sheriff's Office, U.S. Homeland Security Investigations, U.S. Border Patrol, Border Enforcement Security Task Force, HSI, New York State Police, St. Lawrence County District Attorney's Office, Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, and all the police departments, Messina, Augsburg, Potsdam, Canton, and also the St. Lawrence County Drug Task Force, along with the Jefferson Drug Task Force, and the Watertown Police Department, and also the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. Law enforcement conducted a several months investigation that included covert surveillance aimed at rooting out heroin, fentanyl, and cocaine dealers operating in the St. Lawrence County area, as well as individuals who were the heads of trafficking organizations from New Jersey area. This drug trafficking organization operated between Jersey City, New Jersey, and St. Lawrence County, New York. The individuals arrested are from Jersey City, New Jersey, and were linked back to a blood-affiliated street gang known as STA Drop, hence the operation name Drop Operation. The DTO is known to traffic heroin laced with fentanyl, crack cocaine, and powder cocaine. The locations that were where the search warrants were executed were 21 Depot Street, Potsdam, 16 Deborah Drive, Potsdam, 29 L Street, Messina, 14 Church Street, Messina, 43 Wall Street, Governor, 800 New York Avenue, Ogdensburg, 205 Elizabeth Street, Ogdensburg, and 1138 Boyd Street in Watertown, New York. This investigation led to recovery of approximately 6 pounds, 12 ounces of cocaine, the street value estimated more than $300,000. Approximately 279 grams of heroin, the street value estimated at $55,000. 2,737 bags of heroin, which were all prepackaged for easy distribution by trafficking ring. The street estimated value of $41,000. And $78,000 in U.S. currency was recovered. Arrested today were 9 New Jersey residents, 8 from St. Lawrence County, and 1 from Jefferson County. We'll give those names out after the press conference. Due to the new bail reform, all subjects arrested for criminal nuisance in the first degree were issued appearance tickets to answer the charges on a later date. Subjects were arrested, obviously, in this major trafficking operation, and more arrests are pending. On a personal note, I could tell you when I ran as sheriff last year, number one issue when I went on the campaign trail, it didn't matter if I was in Star Lake or Hammond or Messina or Clifton or parts in between, was the number one issue by far was our trouble with illegal drugs in St. Lawrence County. As I told everybody then, and I'll tell them now, it's just not a Messina problem or Augsburg problem. That was in the past. It's a St. Lawrence County problem. And you'll see by these arrests and locations where the search warrants were executed, it is a St. Lawrence County problem. My issue with it more than any other time is obviously we're in a COVID health crisis in this county and nationwide. These subjects took advantage of that. Not only when the COVID-19 hit our area, they didn't stop. They actually expanded their operations, which to me is a deplorable act. It just is. There's no other way around it. Bringing dangerous drugs, weapons, gang activity, and crime into our county, this will not be tolerated. Not under my watch, not as the sheriff. This doesn't get done by the sheriff's office alone, obviously. You see all these chiefs and heads of their departments here. And I asked them to be here to represent their departments. We could not do any of this without all this cooperation of all the law enforcement agencies in this county. They have a vested right in this county. Their families live in this county. Their relatives, their neighbors, they're in this county. And I can tell you by talking to all these individuals, this just won't be tolerated on my watch and theirs. So many hours, resources were utilized, and we had assistance from all these individuals. So I thank them. I have DA Passwell talk now.
Thank you, Sheriff. I want to just echo a few things that the sheriff said back when I was campaigning and ran to be district attorney. Even back then, the main issue in this county was narcotics. That has not changed, and since day one, we've made it a priority to target those individuals who are from outside our county, who are coming to our communities, bringing narcotics, bringing guns, bringing violence. And that's what I'm most proud of today, is that we were able to put a major impact and deal a major blow to this organization. It's clear from what we recovered, these are dangerous individuals. In addition to the narcotics charges, we know that they were involved in several physical attacks of residents in our county. So we are happy that we will, at least in some cases, be able to keep those individuals off our streets. And as the sheriff said, we could not do this without the cooperation of all the law enforcement agencies who operate in our county. That includes federal authorities, the state police, obviously our sheriff, all of our local police departments. Our local police departments especially are essential in investigations and operations like this. They're the ones on the ground, they're the ones in their community, they're the ones that know what is going on. The federal authorities alone do not have the manpower to come in and run an operation like this. The sheriff alone does not have the manpower to do it, nor does the state police without taking resources from other places. So having a fully staffed, properly staffed local police department in all of our communities is essential for these type of operations. They are critical. Secondly, I said some of these individuals, hopefully we will be able to hold. This investigation took months, and part of the reason for that is that we had to make sure that we could charge these individuals from New Jersey as major traffickers. If we were not able to do that, every one of these individuals would be arraigned and let go, back out on our streets to continue their operation. Under the new bail laws, this was the only charge, if we could get to it, where we could actually ask a judge to hold them. And we will be doing that later today. There will be at least 9 individuals arraigned from the state of New Jersey. Anyone who's charged with the Class A felony, we will be asking that they be remanded. It's unfortunate that had we not been able to get to that charge, those individuals would be free later this afternoon, without question. And the second round of reforms that was passed earlier this year does not fix that problem. It's been one of the main concerns that I've had, that all law enforcement has had when it comes to bail reform and things like that, that these types of individuals, the ones that we need to keep incarcerated, that aren't from this area, that are only here to deal drugs, will be set free. So I'm happy that we were able to get the charge on at least 7 or 8 of those individuals. And, you know, this is not the end to this story. This is an ongoing investigation. We did do a great deal of business today when it comes to getting these individuals, but I'm sure that there will be more to come, and we will continue to investigate these matters. And once again, I just want to thank all of the law enforcement partners, federal, state, and local, for the tremendous job they did. They did it safely, they did it quickly, and they did it successfully. Thank you.
As I said, it's a lot of law enforcement agencies that are involved in this. A big part of our operation was helped by HSI, ICE. They do a great job with the resources. They really help us out a lot. And Kevin Kelly is going to come to the mic, but I got to say something first before he comes up here. He's the special agent in charge. He came all the way from Buffalo today because it's important for him to support the North Country. And for him to come all the way from Buffalo means a lot to me. He's always been there in our corner, supporting us with resources and manpower and some other things that really help us out. So thank you very much, Kevin.
That's right.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you for the media for covering this event. I'm Kevin Kelly, the Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI, at the Buffalo, New York field office. HSI is the primary investigative arm of the Department of Homeland Security. I want to recognize Sheriff Brooks Bigwart for hosting today's press event. I stand here today with our dedicated and committed partners from just a lot of agencies here today, and a lot of great partners. As you can see, today's arrest and search warrants are truly a team effort and a win for law enforcement, but more importantly, it's a win for our community. As members of these communities, we are vested in them, and as public servants, we are determined to make them safer. By working together and collaborating for a common good, this investigation became badgeless, meaning no one agency did all the work. I think in your theme today, Sheriff, it was a joint effort from start to the finish. In today's new era in today's new and ever-changing world, it is egregious and reckless to think that drug organizations will deal their illicit product during a public health crisis. Not only did this drug organization, nicknamed STA Drop or Straight Drop, capitalize on this crisis, they operated with virtual impunity during it, or so they thought. Their illegal operation ended today. To put it in more perspective, straight drop is a slang street term used by drug organizations, meaning pure or uncut, or an effect that a person goes through when they lose their high and want to gain it back. HSI is committed to pursuing this investigation with our partners and leveraging all of our resources to include our significant global footprint. We will continue our investigative efforts to dismantle the conspiracy and bad actors outside of the state of New York as well. I also want to assure the public that those who exploit and victimize people during this unique time of crisis will be held accountable for their actions and brought to justice, no matter what the crime. Lastly, I want to thank all the men and women of various law enforcement and government agencies that worked tirelessly for long hours and placed themselves at risk during this pandemic. They are the true heroes today, and we owe them a debt of gratitude for making our community a better place to live. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Conley. That's a pretty special thing to come all the way up here. So, just to reiterate, wrap up here, I know I can speak for all the chiefs and agents and law enforcement here to reiterate that this just isn't going to be tolerated in our county. This is not a one-off event. If you come to our county from another state, another area, and you sling your illegal drugs, we will seek you out. We will find you. We will arrest you. Take all the powers we have from all these law enforcement agencies and throw all the resources we can at you. It's just not going to happen on my watch. Nobody else sits on it. That being said, I'll take any questions from the media.
I see a lot of federal agents here today. Was there a national security concern or an international connection that drew Border Patrol and HSI?
No, not really. I mean, it was interstate. Obviously, we had subs coming in from New Jersey, but there wasn't really an international element to this. They just are, they're in our county. They're our law enforcement partners. Obviously, it's like a brotherhood here. And we all work together for one main goal, and that's to keep our citizens in St. Lawrence County safe. And that's the way everybody feels here. It's our biggest thing is to keep people safe. We're seeing too many deaths from fentanyl. We're seeing too many crimes from drugs. It's just people, the citizens of St. Lawrence County are fed up with it. They truly are fed up with it. I saw it on the trail last year, as I said. He sees it. We hear about it every day. And to sit back and not do anything about it wouldn't really be what my philosophy is. And I'm sure the DA and everybody else here that's standing, it's not going to be their philosophy. We want to keep this county as safe as possible. And this is part of doing that. Sit back and do nothing isn't going to be good for our county. So was there international flavor? No. But they're always, Border Patrol is here, HSI, all our federal partners, state partners, state police had a big part in this. Special Agent Russ Lindstedt from Messina was a huge part of this. Logistically, I can't ask for a better partner in Messina than him. He's always there for us. And we reciprocate, obviously, and work with all these departments. And I, as sheriff, just a personal note, I was elected. I'm the only elected official other than the DA here. And the citizens kind of look at me like okay, Sheriff, what are you going to do here about our drug problem? This is just the first step. This is not a one step and see you later time. This is going to continue. So I want everybody to know, the citizens and the people that are bringing this illegal drugs, weapons, crime, gangs to this county, it just is not going to be tolerated.
Can you comment more specifically on the timeline of these rifles?
No, this has been probably about 5 or 6 months investigation that started 5 or 6 months ago, roughly. So this has been ongoing, but when the pandemic hit, you know, we were still doing this investigation. Law enforcement is always behind the scenes doing things that most people don't know. We want to keep it that way, obviously, for investigative purposes. But when this crisis hit, it hit St. Lawrence County pretty heavy in the 6-7 county region, obviously. They didn't stop, and they escalated, actually. They took advantage of the situation, thinking that law enforcement would be not really doing a whole lot out there, which was the farthest from the truth. We ramped up our investigation when they ramped up theirs. The problem with this time, obviously, with COVID going on and the dangers, is this the best time to arrest people like this? Probably not the best time, but things we were seeing were getting too dangerous. And we want to make sure nobody in this county got hurt. It didn't keep escalating the way it was. And that's why we had this takedown today. Would it be a better time 2-3 months from now when things calm down? Sure, it would. But the danger element was ramping up too much, and we just didn't want to see anybody get hurt in the county or things really escalate out of control. So we decided that this is the time to conduct this operation.
In relation to the lockdowns, with less cars on the road, there's not as many big crowds out there that might provide cover for certain things. Did they change their operation at all? So did they have to, or?
I'll let you undershare, Tom.
Yeah, so they definitely preyed on limited traffic. They upped their game, but today I think it shows that we upped our game. There's one other comment I want to make too, Sheriff, is 8 search warrants simultaneously is, in my career, unbelievable. I have not seen 8 search warrants in one county at one time. There's a lot of manpower, a lot of time, a lot of complexity to ensure that this goes off without hitch. We had, like the Sheriff said, tremendous resources from SORT, the ERT teams from HSI, and to be able to pull that off within a minute this morning and not have anybody injured, officers, agents, or defendants, is remarkable. So I think that's in the history books. I know the sheriff's been here a little bit longer than I have. 33 years. Sheriff, 33? And I don't think he's ever seen 8 search warrants, and we're proud of that. And we're going to continue. So
Ocean Gravy Train, we had quite a few individuals out of Jersey City, and they were kind of intense feeding it. Do any of these guys have a relation to those people at all? Or?
Investigations, they're fringe, right? So there's fringe players, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that some of the local names are the same local names in the paper, and it's the same operation. They go out, they seek a drug dealer to get their fix, they come back, the drug dealers provide them with the product, they continue to run their operation. As time goes on, as the sheriff said, it gets more dangerous. And this is the Bloods. This is the gang that everybody reads about in national news. They are here. And we don't want them here. And as long as we're here, they're not going to be comfortable here.
Thanks.
We talked about acts of violence. Has there been any robberies or assaults that have been widely publicized since the investigation started that you can say this act of violence was specifically linked to drug activity in this organization?
That's one thing that I had mentioned, that we knew they were escalating their activities. Those acts, no, they were not widely publicized. When you're dealing with individuals who are at times cooperating with these people coming up from New Jersey, they're not apt or really willing to contact police departments. However, through the investigation, through all the means that law enforcement used, we were able to learn of some of those activities. So they were escalating their physical presence, certainly here in the county, when they thought it was necessary. And as the sheriff talked about, you know, at a certain point, regardless of the situation regarding the virus or anything else, there comes a time where you can no longer allow this activity to continue, where it's reached a point where you know it is time to act. And law enforcement, the sheriff, the federal authorities, the local authorities, I think did a great job of determining when that time was in conjunction with my office as well, so that we can have a successful prosecution of these cases.
So you sort of had like that, like you're trying to build these major traffic cases, and at the same time, they're ramping up their danger reviews. You're trying to make these, those investigations close before this stuff spills over.
Correct. We always, any decision we make is first and foremost dependent on public safety. If there was a situation that we believed we needed to do this sooner, I'm sure the sheriff would agree it would have been done sooner. At the same time, like I said, there were considerations regarding what we were going to be able to charge and who we were going to be able to keep incarcerated to make sure that this activity didn't pick up once again as soon as these search warrants were executed. So that is always a factor in determining what we do.
Any gun seized today?
Not today. But the investigation is still pending. And if there's any additional information that comes out, we'll certainly let everyone know.
That's all the question.
Let's understand this is still a fluid situation. We're still further investigations. There's probably going to be more people arrested, few more search warrants out there. So as much as we've done today, there's still more work to be done. So you'll be seeing the next few days probably a few more people maybe getting arrested, or down the line some more people will be arrested because of this operation. So, yes.
Of the guy
Well, obviously, they're going from a judge. He has the final determination if they're being put in our facility. I would ask that they all be put in our facility. These are major trafficking individuals. To me, if they go back to Jersey, they're probably not going to come back, or they're going to flee somewhere else. So obviously, the flight risk, because they're not from our area, the magnitude of what they're getting charged with, I know the DA, he can recommend certain things when it goes to arraignment, but I would hopefully foresee that they go to our facility.
Sir, can I say one thing? With regards to that, the individuals from New Jersey, we will be asking that they all be, or any of those charged with a felony will be remanded. Unfortunately, none of the individuals from here in St. Lawrence County have been charged with felonies at this point, and they are not qualifying offenses. So those individuals who are in our community who go out and on some occasions recruit these people from New Jersey to come back, give them a place to set up shop. Those individuals, we cannot ask for bail. They will be released after they are arraigned. Like I said earlier, is one of the major problems that we face.
Okay. Thanks everybody for coming. I just want to one last time thank all the law enforcement officials that are here, state police, local, Border Patrol, everybody's here. I know they didn't want to get in front of the mic and speak, but kind of their mouthpiece right now. They've just been a great support, and will continue to be there. So thank you very much.